Imagine a ghost, not of the spectral kind, but a ghost of history. A man who wielded unimaginable power, a shadow figure who orchestrated terror across a continent, only to vanish into the very fabric of time, leading behind a chilling void. His name was Heinrich Müller, and his disappearance isn't just a footnote in the annals of World War II. It's a profound riddle, a testament to the elusive nature of ultimate justice, and a story that whispers to us about the limits of control, even for the most ruthless. This isn't a celebration of a man, but a journey into the heart of a mystery that challenges our understanding of accountability, the search for truth, and the ultimate, inevitable collapse of systems built on fear. It reminds us that even the most seemingly invincible architects of oppression can be swallowed by the very chaos they create, leaving behind only questions and a stark lesson for humanity. Our story begins not in the grand halls of power, but in the grime and grease of an aircraft workshop. Before he became the spectral head of the Gestapo, a name synonymous with terror, Heinrich Müller was, surprisingly, an aircraft mechanic. Picture a young man, precise and methodical, his hands skilled in the intricate workings of machinery, far removed from the dark arts of political surveillance. It was a humble beginning, a stark contrast to the monstrous figure he would become. This early life, however, offered a glimpse into the meticulous nature that would define his ascent. He was a man of systems, of order, of making things work, no matter the ethical cost. His path soon veered from mechanics to law enforcement. He joined the Munich police force, and it was here that his true, chilling talents began to emerge. Müller specialized in political surveillance and interrogation. In the turbulent political climate of post-World War I Germany, this was a critical, often brutal, field. He wasn't driven by fervent ideology in his early career. Rather, he was a pragmatic professional, a man who understood the mechanics of power and control. He observed, he analyzed, he extracted information. He was good at it, chillingly so. His colleagues noted his efficiency, his detached demeanor, his uncanny ability to get results. He was a bureaucrat of intimidation, learning the levers of human fear and vulnerability with a dispassionate expertise. The year 1933 marked a pivotal turning point, not just for Germany, but for Müller himself. With the Nazi Party's rise to power, the dark machinery of state control began to grind into motion. Müller, with his specialized skills and proven track record in political policing, was a natural fit for the burgeoning secret state police, the Gestapo. He was recruited into this fearsome organization and immediately began his rapid ascent through its ranks. It wasn't charisma or ideological zeal that propelled him, but his exceptional administrative skills and his systematic work methods. He was the ultimate functionary, a man who could build and operate the infrastructure of repression with terrifying efficiency. He understood how to organize terror, how to standardize cruelty, how to make the unspeakable routine. By 1939, as the shadows of war lengthened across Europe, Müller's power solidified. He was appointed the head of Amt 4, the Gestapo, within the Reich Security Main Office, or RSHA. This was the nerve center of Nazi Germany's internal security, responsible for coordinating intelligence and investigations across not just Germany, but the vast, occupied territories of Europe. From his office, Müller orchestrated arrests, interrogations, and the systematic suppression of any perceived opposition. He was the architect of fear, his directives reaching into every corner of the Reich and beyond, shaping the lives and deaths of millions. His signature was on countless orders that sent people to their doom, yet he remained an enigma, a man whose personal motivations were obscured by his chilling professionalism. His role became even more critical as the war progressed and dissent, however muted, began to stir. He played a crucial, ruthless role in suppressing opposition, perhaps most notably after the failed July 20, 1944, assassination attempt on Adolf Hitler. The plot, a desperate gamble by elements within the German military and aristocracy, aimed to overthrow the Nazi regime. Its failure unleashed a brutal wave of retribution, and it was Müller's Gestapo that spearheaded the hunt for conspirators, their families, and anyone even remotely suspected of involvement. Thousands were arrested, tortured, and executed in the aftermath, a testament to Müller's unwavering commitment to the regime and his chilling effectiveness in crushing any challenge to its authority. He was the iron fist, the unyielding enforcer, ensuring that the wheels of the Nazi war machine, however damaged, continued to turn. As the war entered its final desperate act, and the Allied armies closed in on Berlin, Heinrich Müller remained at his post. He was present in the Bunker, the subterranean lair beneath the Reich Chancellery, a concrete tomb where Hitler and his inner circle made their final delusional stands. Even as the city above crumbled under the relentless Soviet assault, Müller was there, involved in internal security and intelligence updates, managing the dwindling resources of a collapsing empire. He was a witness to the final days of a regime built on his very methods of terror and control. He saw the despair, the madness, the ultimate unraveling. One can only imagine the thoughts of a man who had built a vast, intricate system of power, watching it all dissolve around him. Did he feel fear, regret, or simply the cold, detached professionalism that had always defined him? Then, on May 1st, 1945, amidst the chaos and final spasms of Berlin's fall, Heinrich Müller was last reliably seen. He was inside the bunker complex, a place where escape was becoming increasingly impossible and survival a mere whisper. Accounts differ, but the consensus among historians is that he spoke briefly with others, perhaps even declining an offer to join an escape attempt. And then he vanished, not into the smoke and rubble of the burning city, but into a silence so profound, so absolute, that it has echoed through history for nearly 8 decades. He simply disappeared without a trace. The immediate aftermath of the war saw a frantic search for the architects of the Nazi regime. Allied intelligence agencies, both American and Soviet, launched extensive post-war investigations, seeking to bring justice to those responsible for the atrocities. They tracked down countless officials, soldiers, and collaborators. But Heinrich Müller, the man who knew perhaps more than anyone about the inner workings of the Gestapo and the darkest secrets of the Third Reich, remained elusive. No remains were ever found that could be definitively identified as his. No conclusive evidence of his fate ever surfaced. It was as if the ground had simply swallowed him whole. Over the decades, the mystery of Müller's disappearance has spawned numerous theories, each attempting to fill the void left by his absence. Some believe he died in Berlin during the final days of fighting, his body lost in the rubble, or perhaps deliberately concealed. Others speculate he was captured by the Soviets, perhaps interrogated extensively, his knowledge exploited before he was quietly executed or imprisoned, his fate sealed behind the Iron Curtain. A more sensational theory suggests he managed to escape, perhaps with the help of former Nazi networks, finding refuge in South America, a common destination for high-ranking fugitives seeking to evade justice. He could have lived out his days under an assumed identity, an old man haunted by his past, or perhaps entirely unburdened by it. Yet despite meticulous research, countless interviews, and the declassification of intelligence documents, none of these theories have ever been definitively proven. The trail remains cold, the answers frustratingly out of reach. Heinrich Müller's disappearance stands as one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of World War II, a persistent challenge to historians, intelligence experts, and anyone who grapples with the complexities of justice and accountability. It forces us to confront uncomfortable questions. Can a man truly vanish without a trace? Or does his continued absence, his unknown fate, serve as a chilling reminder that some shadows are simply too deep to fully penetrate? His story, though rooted in darkness, offers a powerful, albeit somber, motivation. It reminds us that even those who build empires of fear, who believe themselves untouchable and omniscient, are ultimately subject to the unpredictable currents of history. Their power, however absolute it may seem, is fleeting. Their control, however total, is an illusion. Müller's vanishing act, whether by death or escape, underscores the ultimate futility of evil. The system he so meticulously helped construct collapsed, and he with it, leaving behind a legacy of infamy and an enduring question mark. This mystery also motivates us to never cease in our pursuit of truth, to never give up on understanding the past, no matter how complex or painful. It highlights the importance of historical inquiry, of piecing together fragments, of confronting the uncomfortable silences. For in understanding figures like Müller and the systems they served, we gain crucial insights into the human capacity for both cruelty and resilience. We learn the vital lessons necessary to safeguard against such horrors ever rising again. The ghost of Heinrich Müller, unseen and unheard, continues to prompt us to look closer, to question deeper, and to remember that while some individuals may escape earthly judgment, the judgment of history and the enduring human quest for justice will always remain.